So there's a lot to be excited about the Eagles this training camp. For me personally, I think this is one of the most talented, deepest Eagles teams that I can remember in a long, long time. Howie Roseman, he didn't go out and do it the dream team way where they go and they sign all the top free agents. Nah, he came up with the perfect plan and a perfect blend. He went out, he got veterans who have 2-3 really good years left who want to win. He brings them in. Then he goes and he gets players who are in the last year of their rookie contracts who want to play for a big payday, who want to prove themselves. He brings them in. Then he goes and he gets talented players in the draft, some of which think that they should have gone higher than what they did. He brings them in and he creates a monster talented team. A team that on paper should be very, very good and could beat anybody. But as good as they are, and I don't care what team you are in the NFL, going into training camp, you're always going to have things that you're worrying about. Okay, I worry about Ronald Darby and his injury, Brooks and his injury, and I worry about Miles Sanders and his injury and the depth at the running back position. 18th pick in the NFL draft.
Hey, make us lunch. We're hungry.
Dallas still stinks. Yo, everybody, no thing back here, and I got a question for you. I got a question. Are you ready for football? Are you ready for some football? Because I'm going through football withdrawal. I needed football like yesterday. I needed it like yesterday. I am so ready. And the Eagles don't report to July 24th. Their first practice is July 25th. And I can't wait. I can't wait. And one of the reasons I can't wait is because I think this Eagles team is one of the most talented, deep teams I've seen the Eagles have in a long, long time. And I'm excited to see them play. I mean, just look at the tight end position as an example. You have the best tight end in football, Zach Ertz. And then you got his backup, Dallas Goedert, who the team voted as the most impressive player during OTAs and minicamp this spring. And he is a backup tight end. He is a Pro Bowl caliber tight end in his second year, backing up the best tight end in football. That's how deep this Eagles team is, and it's across the board. And I'm just really excited to see this team play. Now, you may be wondering why I'm doing the video right here, and the reason is because I was outside at 10:30 this morning trying to do a video, and it was so hot. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Like, the Giants are allergic to winning. The Cowboys, they are allergic to reality. I'm allergic to the heat. I couldn't take it. It was too brutal. So I had to come inside where it was much cooler to do this, and it's just too hot. Definitely might have to go in the pool later today for sure, but it's just too hot. And let me tell you, Vegas heat is different because other places you sweat it out, you can tell your shirt's getting wet, you're sweating, it's dripping. In Vegas, it's like you're dry. You don't even realize you're hot and overheated, and all of a sudden, like, you're like, whoa, I don't feel too good. And it's just like that. It is crazy. It's like the sun just drains you, like sucks the energy right out of you. So it's brutal. But I'm inside doing this, and I do want to talk to you guys about, some things on my mind, especially about one of the concerns I have going into training camp, because I have few concerns about a few things and worries about some stuff. But one of the things I want to talk to you guys about is Miles Sanders and the depth at that running back position, if he is still hurt come training camp. One of the things I really liked that the Eagles did this all season was to trade for Jordan Howard and draft Miles Sanders. I thought this gave the Eagles tremendous talent and depth at the running back position. And if you think about 2018, think about all the times we had lead in the fourth quarter and we could not run out the clock. We could not kill clock, and we gave up leads at the end of games. It really hurt us. And in 2017, when we had LeGarrette Blount, that didn't happen. And with Jordan Howard this year, we're not going to have that problem. We're going to be able to run the ball. We're going to be able to run out clock, and he's going to be tremendous for us. And as far as Miles Sanders goes, there were two reasons I thought the Eagles drafted him. One, they want him to be the future franchise back. And two, they wanted him to come in as a rookie and fill in for Darren Sproles, to play that Darren Sproles role as the number 2 running back, a change of pace to Jordan Howard. That's what they were looking for. And by all means, he's talented enough to do it. I think he can do it really, really well. But the problem has been that since spring training and OTAs and minicamp, he's had hamstring problems, and they pretty much shut him down. in minicamp, and they're hoping that he'll come back healthy, ready to go for training camp. And, I'm not so concerned that he missed time during OTAs and minicamp. I'm more concerned with the prospects that hamstrings tend to linger on. They can linger on for a while. And if this is a problem when the Eagles head to training camp, I think they have to consider bringing in another running back. Now, here's my reasoning. Once you get Miles Sanders out of the lineup, I don't think you have a true number 2 running back. I think Jordan Howard to start the season is the number 1 running back. I think Miles Sanders is the number 2 running back. I don't think Corey Clement is a number 2 running back. I like Corey Clement. He is coming off injury. I don't know how healthy he is, but I don't think he's a legit number 2 running back. I think he's better as that 3rd running back like we saw in 2017 when it was Blunt, Ajayi, and him. That's how I think he fits in. Wendell Smallwood, I'm not that big on Wendell Smallwood. Corey Clement I like, but I don't think he's a true number 2. And what you want out of that number 2 running back is you want a guy who can catch out of the backfield, a change of pace to Jordan Howard. And that kind of takes Josh Adams out of it, in my opinion, too. So I think you need a true number 2. And if Miles Sanders is hurt with a hamstring and he is not going to be ready, let's say until the start of the regular season, let's say he misses a lot of preseason and stuff like that, he is going to be way behind. It's going to take him a while to get going, maybe 5, 6, 7 weeks into the season. You know what I mean? And so at that point, I think you need to bring in somebody else. Now, who do you bring in? And the one guy that comes to my mind, the one guy I think that the Eagles should probably go pursue if Miles Sanders is still banged up, and that is Darren Sproles. Let Darren Sproles fill the Darren Sproles role. I mean, he's not the same guy he was a few years ago. We know that. But I think he's still serviceable enough for one more year that you could use him. And I would definitely consider bringing him back if Miles Sanders is not healthy during training camp. Because, look, you miss the OTAs, you miss minicamp, fine. You can make up for that during preseason and training camp. But if he's missing practices, he's missing preseason games and training camp, you can't make up for that right away. He's going to be behind the 8 ball. It may take him a while to get his feet under him. We need somebody else. That's just my opinion. And if you really want to make a splash in getting another number 2, you could always consider trading for Duke Johnson. I know that some people don't want to hear that, or some people may not like it. Maybe they think it's too much, but I would seriously consider it. I'm not giving up a 4th round pick, though. I'm not giving up a 3rd round pick for him. Forget that. If they want to do it for a 5th, maybe a 2021 4th round pick, maybe I'll do it then, but I'm not giving up a lot. But if I could somehow get him, he would be the perfect number 2. He could catch out of the backfield, great change of pace. He would be perfect with Jordan Howard, and I would consider it. And then look, when Miles Sanders comes back, let's say Miles Sanders by week 6, week 7, he's back and he's getting his feet under him. Okay, then let him play. You'll lose Duke Johnson at the end of the year, no big deal. Same thing with Sproles. If you bring Sproles in and then, by week 6, week 7, Miles Sanders is starting to play really good and he's got his feet under him and he's adjusting well, then you can just lessen Darren Sproles' role. Sproles isn't that much anyway, so it wouldn't be a big deal. But I really believe that you can't have Miles Sanders miss a lot of preseason, a lot of training camp, and just fill in his role with Corey Clement and Wendell Smallwood. I don't think it's good enough. I think you need to get somebody else. And I would probably... my first priority, my first guy I would contact would be Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles said he would come back to the Eagles, Saints, or Chargers. So that's when I would bring him in, and I would definitely consider it. I am worried about Miles Sanders' hamstring. I'm not worried about him adjusting or missing time. I just am worried that it's going to linger. Hopefully it won't, and he'll be fine, and then this won't be an issue at all. But if for some reason it is, my first thing would be to sign Darren Sproles. My second thing I would try is to see if I could trade for Duke Johnson. So look, hopefully July 25th, Miles Sanders is out there. He's tearing it up. He's hitting people. He's running around. He's fine. No problem. That's what I'm hoping for. I think the Eagles are expecting that, and if that's the case, great. Then there's no issue. We don't need to get anybody else. But if that hamstring is lingering, if it's a problem, if he starts missing preseason games, if he's missing some time, if it's apparent that the first few months of the season he's going to be trying to play catch up, I want to go ahead and bring Darren Sproles back. I want to go ahead and bring in another number 2 running back to come in and help, because the Eagles work so hard to get talent and depth at that running back position this all season. I don't want it to go up in smoke because they have a guy with a lingering hamstring problem that is playing catch up his rookie year and never really gets his feet under him. I want to do something about that ahead of time. So I'm going to be watching Miles Sanders very closely to see how he's feeling. Hopefully he's fine. They're expecting him to be fine, but I am worried because, hamstrings always seem to linger on. But hopefully he'll be okay. So before I end this video, I wanted to have a little fun and I wanted to conduct a poll. Now, the poll question is this: should the Eagles pursue a trade for Jalen Ramsey? Should the Eagles pursue a trade for Jalen Ramsey? Now, I bring this up because I was on Twitter earlier today, and I'm not a Twitter guy, believe me, but I was on Twitter, I was scrolling, and I came upon Jalen Ramsey's tweets. And one of his tweets was a scripture verse. It was Isaiah 40:31, and it says this: "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on the wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Now, a lot of Eagle fans were responding, "Oh, you said Eagles, what does this mean? Are you trying to tell us something? Could he be coming to the Eagles?" And I thought it was kind of funny because I don't think that's what he meant at all. But the fact that the Jaguars may be trading him is very, very real. It's a very real possibility. And the reason that they're going to trade him is because I don't know that they can afford him. I don't know that they want to pay him what he's going to ask. They've already told Jalen Ramsey, "We will not be giving you an extension this year." And we know, Eagle fans know, that from the Carson Wentz deal, that the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost. So why would the Jaguars skip and just tell him flat out, "We're not signing you," and then wait a whole year and then have to pay him more money? They got a lot of players to sign, and I think that the writing's on the wall. I think the Jaguars are not interested in bringing him back long term. I mean, to say that to him, to do that, it kind of shows that they're really not committed to him. So it's going to be very interesting. I think he is going to get shopped around, and I want to know, should the Eagles pursue him? Me personally, of course I would pursue him in a second. He's one of the best corners in the league, if not the best corner. He is a generational talent at corner, in my opinion. And here's the thing: the Eagles love players. Howie loves players who have 2 years left on their contract. The Jaguars picked his 5th-year option up, meaning that he plays this year and he plays next year. Then his contract's up and he's a free agent. So the Eagles could technically, if they were to trade for him, let's say at the trade deadline, they could have him for a year and a half, for 2 seasons, 2 playoff runs, 2 Super Bowl runs, and it would be very interesting. Now, I don't know what they would be asking. I'm sure they would be asking for a lot. But, you got to wonder, when you tell a player, "Hey, we're not signing you this year, we're not giving you an extension," I think the writing's on the wall. And they don't have a lot of money, and they have a lot of players to sign. So I just want to know, for fun, would you guys sign him or pursue a trade to get Jalen Ramsey? If you could, I would have to do it. He's very good, and we're going to lose Darby next year. He's going to walk, and we're already paying him $8.5 million. So why not? I think Ramsey's making $7.4 million this year, $13.7 million next year. Then he's a free agent. Hey, why not? But I thought it was interesting. I thought it was funny. This is just for fun. But what do you think? What do you think? Tell me in the comment section. I'm curious. I want to know. And also, just one quick announcement: I will not be streaming the NBA draft tonight. I'm in Vegas. It's very hard for me to stream here, but I will be doing videos on what the Sixers do. They may come out tonight or tomorrow because I may be watching the draft out. I may not be home for it. So we'll see. But with that said, I hope everybody has a great day. Take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat. Go Sixers.